Okay, imagine this. You're a dentist, right? You're good at what you do, you've got years of experience under your belt. But then you move to a new country, and suddenly your whole career, everything you've worked for, boils down to one single, super intense, hands-on exam. Well, today we're going to talk about that very test. It's called the dental bench test, and it's this massive hurdle for dentists trained overseas who want to practice here in the US and Canada.
So, I've got a question for you. What do you think is the toughest test for a professional dentist? I mean, you might be thinking it's some crazy hard written exam or maybe a really complicated patient diagnosis. But for a ton of incredibly skilled dentists, the real answer is, well, it's something totally different. And it all comes down to what they can do with their hands.
And check this out, because this quote really gets to the heart of the problem. It says, many highly qualified dentists fail simply because they do not know the exact preparation standards expected by North American dental schools. So get this, people aren't failing because they're bad dentists, not at all. They're failing because they just don't know the very specific, kind of nitpicky standards over here. It's a knowledge gap, not a skills gap. All right, so let's dig into that. Why is this test considered a dentist's final and often most brutal hurdle? You gotta understand, this isn't just another pop quiz. It's a massive gateway. See, for dentists trained abroad to get licensed here, they usually have to get into what's called an advanced standing program. And the bench test, that's the exam that decides if they even get in the door. So yeah, their entire career in a new country can literally come down to how they do on this one test. So what exactly is a bench test anyway? Let's break it down. The key words here are practical skills examination. This has nothing to do with book smarts or theory. Nope, this is all hands-on. Dentists are basically performing real procedures, but on a plastic model of a mouth. It's called a typodont. And the whole time, evaluators are just hovering, scrutinizing every single tiny detail. Which, of course, leads to the next big question: what skills are they actually putting on trial here? What's wild is that it's a lot of fundamental stuff. We're talking about things like prepping a cavity for a filling, restoring a tooth, shaping a tooth for a crown. I mean, this is bread and butter work for any dentist. But here's the catch. In this exam, they have to do it all perfectly, like to this unbelievably specific, standardized ideal. The margin for error, it's basically zero. And this kind of shows you how it all fits together. You've got operative dentistry, that's basically the art of fillings, then crown preparations, which is a huge part of prosthodontics. And then you've got other key skills like endodontic access, which is the very first step of a root canal. It's like a complete audit, a full workout of all their core hand skills. Okay, so we know what the test is, and we know what's on it. But that's only half the battle. Seriously, the real secret sauce to passing this thing is, well, it's decoding the exam itself. Let's go back to that key point from the beginning. A dentist could make a crown that's absolutely perfect by the standards back in their home country. But on this test, if the angle of one tiny wall is off by a single degree, or a margin isn't the exact depth they're looking for, they can fail. That's it. The key word really is exact. So you basically have two ways to prepare for this. You can practice blindly, just kind of hoping your years of experience are good enough for these hidden criteria, or you can get structured guidance. You learn the specific grading rules, you get feedback from experts, and you learn how to avoid the common mistakes. And let me tell you, the difference between those two paths it's just enormous. All right, so let's look at how that structured approach actually works. How do you turn all that practice into the kind of precision that gets you a pass? 110. Just let that sink in. A good prep course might have 110 lessons. This isn't just a quick weekend review. It's a super deep dive into every tiny nuance, every angle, every margin the examiners are going to be looking at. It really just shows you the level of detail we're talking about here. And this is the secret knowledge they're teaching. I mean, look at this stuff. Proper depth and wall convergence, ideal cavo surface margins. To you and me, they might sound like just dental jargon, but to a candidate, these are the exact measurable rules that mean the difference between passing and failing. It's literally about learning the grading sheet and then just nailing it every single time. So the most important thing to get is this. This kind of training isn't about teaching someone how to be a dentist. They already are a dentist. It's all about teaching them how to avoid the specific little traps and common mistakes of this very unique test. And here's how it all comes together in practice. The candidates work on those plastic models at home, just like in the real exam. But the real game changer, it's the feedback. They can actually take pictures of their work, send them in, and get a critique from an instructor who knows exactly what the graders are looking for. That feedback loop is everything. It's what builds that precision and, just as importantly, the confidence they need. So at the end of the day, it's a pretty fascinating challenge, right? You have all this professional experience, but it's suddenly up against a brand new, really unforgiving set of standards. What does it actually take to prove your skills all over again? Well, for these dentists, it seems like the answer is a mix of humility, an insane level of precision, and just a sheer determination to master the rules of a whole new game.